Hello and welcome back to INMR, where in today's podcast I'm going to be explaining how Marco Silva has transformed Fulham this season. They're currently 6th and flying with a very underrated squad. They had a good summer transfer window as well despite losing key players, but how far can they go this season and what are the tactics that have brought them so much success already? I'll be explaining all of that today, and starting off we've got to go through the build-up. Marco Silva sets his team up in a 4-3-3 formation in the build-up with a back four, one number 6, 2 8s and a front three. Building up in a 4-3-3 formation focuses on creating a solid foundation at the back while maintaining fluidity and options in midfield. The formation begins with 4 defenders who provide width and stability, allowing for controlled possession from deep areas. The number 6 connects the defence to the midfield, dictating the tempo and distributing the ball to the 2 more advanced midfielders. The more advanced midfield pair position themselves to exploit spaces between the opposition's lines, creating triangles that facilitate smooth progression up the pitch. The 3 forwards, with the central striker as the focal point, are always ready to receive the ball, either through direct passes or by making runs behind the defence. This setup allows for the team to transition quickly from attack to defence, maintaining pressure on the opponent while ensuring defensive coverage. The Fulham players constantly rotate during the build-up. The team adopts a dynamic approach, shifting between formations to create numerical advantages and exploit spaces. Marco Silva's focus is always to get the players into their best positions, where they can make the most out of their individual skill set. He emphasises versatility, with players interchanging positions seamlessly to maintain possession and disrupt the opposition's defensive structure. This flexibility creates numerical superiorities in different areas, allowing Fulham to bypass the opposition press while maintaining control. The movement is coordinated and dynamic, with constant interchanging between lines, making it difficult for the opponents to predict or disrupt Fulham's build-up play. Fulham's tactical setup under Marco Silva relies heavily on the fluid teamwork between the fullback, winger and number 8. This trio works in harmony to create overloads, dominate the wide areas and generate attacking opportunities. On the left side, the left back Anthony Robinson usually pushes up into a left wing position, the left winger Alex Iwobi comes into an attacking midfield position, and the number 8 Emile Smith-Rowe drops into a left back / left holding midfielder position. The 3 players on each side always rotate and interchange to confuse and create questions for the opposition. This fluid movement allows for greater unpredictability in the attack, as the wide player often comes inside, dragging defenders with them, whilst the fullback overlaps into the vacated space. Simultaneously, the attacking midfielder can drop deeper or drift wide to link play or exploit gaps in the defence. Here, Anthony Robinson makes a run out to the wing from the attacking midfield position, opening the space in the centre. Smith-Rowe, who is in a deeper position, makes a run into the open space and receives a pass from the winger, allowing him to take the ball forward and attack the defence. These positional interchanges create overloads on the flanks whilst opening up central spaces, making Fulham's attack more versatile and harder to defend against. Marco Silva also likes using the goalkeeper in the build-up. Fulham's keeper Leno will often push up between the centre-backs, giving Fulham an extra man in the build-up phase. Using the goalkeeper in the build-up phase offers numerous tactical advantages. By involving the keeper, Fulham can create numerical superiority at the back, making it easier to evade the opponent's press and maintain possession. This additional player allows for more passing options, reducing the risk of losing possession and enabling smoother transitions from defence to attack. The goalkeeper can also act as a pivot, switching play across the field to exploit weak points in the opponent's formation. Also, involving the goalkeeper helps in drawing in the opposition forward, creating space higher up the pitch for the attackers to exploit. Additionally, with the goalkeeper pushing up, the centre-backs can come wider. When the centre-backs come wider, they can take the ball forward when receiving it to break the opposition's first line of pressure. This provides a safe and easy way for Fulham to break the opposition's first line and progress the ball up the pitch. Fulham will often use counter movements between the attackers to beat the opposition's defensive line. Counter movements involve players making runs that disrupt defensive lines, drawing defenders out of position to open up space for teammates. This is a core principle in Fulham's attacking strategy, allowing them to break down organised defences and exploit gaps. When a defender or holding midfielder has the ball, the winger can drop to give a passing option to the ball holder, which creates a question for the opposition fullback. If he follows the dropping winger, the space behind him opens up, allowing the ball holder to play a through ball to a Fulham attacker making the run in behind. However, If he stays in the back line to cover the space, the ball can be played to the winger, who can turn and attack the defence. The Fulham attackers will use counter movements like these all the time. When one attacker drops, the other goes in behind, constantly creating questions for the opposition defenders. In this situation, the opposition right back follows the dropping winger, allowing Fulham to play a through ball to the left back in the space behind the right back. Fulham have effectively used overlaps as a key tactic to create goal-scoring opportunities under Marco Silva. This involves wide players, usually fullbacks, making the forward runs to get around their winger, providing an extra attacking option on the flanks. By doing so, they create a 2v1 situation with the winger against the opposition fullback, which could be used to beat the fullback and create crossing opportunities. Fulham's wingers often initiate the play by attracting the opposition fullback, leaving space for an overlapping Anthony Robinson or Kenny Tete to exploit. The overlap forces the defending fullback to make difficult decisions, either stick with the winger or follow the overlapping fullback. If the opposition fullback drops to cover the overlapping run, the winger can cut inside, taking a shot or combining with another teammate. And if the fullback covers the centre, the ball can easily be played to the overlapping player, creating a crossing opportunity. When executed well, this tactic allows Fulham to overload the wide areas, often pulling defenders out of position and creating space in the box. The fullback then has the option to deliver a cross or cut back, aiming for the Fulham attackers in the box, who thrive on these deliveries. The use of overlaps not only creates width, but also forces defensive mismatches, opening up clear chances for Fulham's forwards and midfielders to finish. It's a crucial element of Marco Silva's attacking strategy, adding variety to Fulham's offensive play and increasing their threat in the final third. Fulham also use underlaps to produce opportunities in the final third. They primarily do this from the wide areas, with runs from the attacking midfielders into the space between the opposition fullback and centre-back. When the winger receives the ball out wide, he will attract the opposition fullback. This opens up the space between the fullback and centre-back, which allows Fulham's attacking midfielder to make the underlapping run into this space. The ball can be played to the underlapping player, who can cross into the box or attack his defender in a 1v1 situation. But of course, the winger doesn't have to play to the underlapping player. The run from the attacking midfielder will often drag away the opposition defensive midfielder, which opens up the space inside. From there, the winger can take the ball inside and shoot, or find a pass to a free player in front of the back line. Fulham's base formation when defending is the 4-4-2. They look to set up in a mid-block, always trying to close the centre and force the opposition out wide. Defending in the 4-4-2 formation is all about balance, compactness and discipline. The team defends in two compact lines of four, with the forwards positioned ahead of the midfield. The two forwards play a crucial role, not only as the first line of defence, but also in initiating the team's pressing strategy. Marco Silva wants his team to stay compact without dropping too low, preferably closing the space between the midfield and back line. Higher up the pitch, Fulham will sometimes set up in a 4-2-4 formation, with the wingers pushing up next to the strikers. In Fulham's 4-2-4 formation, the wingers will press the opposition centre-backs while the two strikers cover the opposition's holding midfielders. When the wingers press the centre-backs, they close the passing lane to the opposition full-backs. This forces the opposition centre-backs into the middle, where Silva wants to win the ball back with the strikers, who block off all passing options into the midfield. One tool that helps to stay compact is to play with a high back line, making the space to the midfield line as small as possible. Silva's players do this and usually try to keep the highest line they can without leaving the space behind them too open. Defending with a high back line involves positioning the defensive line closer to the midfield rather than near the goalkeeper. This approach compresses the space available for the opposing team to operate, disrupting their build-up play and increasing the chances of winning the ball back quickly. A high back line also allows defenders to support the midfield more effectively, creating numerical superiority in central areas and facilitating quicker transitions from defence to attack. However, it requires defenders with good pace and positional awareness to deal with the long balls and prevent opposing attackers from exploiting the space behind. This approach demands constant communication and coordination among the back line to maintain an effective defensive structure. Everyone must be in the same line when defending with a high back line to maintain an effective offside trap. Everyone must be in the same line when defending with a high back line to maintain an effective offside trap and reduce gaps that attackers can exploit. A well-aligned defensive line makes it easier to catch opposing forwards offside, preventing them from receiving the ball in dangerous positions. Also, this alignment helps defenders support each other, allowing for quick transitions and coordinated movements to tackle, intercept and clear the ball. Fulham are great in defensive transitions. They've usually got many players centrally, which creates good conditions for counter-pressing. Many players close to the ball after losing possession means that many players can work towards regaining possession. Silva's players are also very aggressive in the first seconds after losing the ball. The 4 or 5 closest immediately jump on the opposition player with the ball and close the distance to cut off any passing lanes. This approach disrupts the opposition's transition from defence to attack, forcing errors and creating opportunities to regain control in dangerous areas. Counter-pressing like this keeps Fulham on the front foot, allowing them to dominate and create more goal-scoring opportunities. However, it does require good fitness, tactical discipline and teamwork. Silva also wants his team to counter in their attacking transitions. When winning the ball back, the team transitions quickly from defence to attack, utilising the speed and movement of their forward players. Silva emphasises vertical passes to exploit spaces left by the opposition, often targeting the wide areas or gaps between defenders. Fulham's counter-attacks are well organised, with players making intelligent off-the-ball runs to create overloads and support the ball carrier. This quick, direct style catches opponents off guard, making Fulham a dangerous team on the break. Additionally, Fulham's aggressiveness means that they have many players high up when defending, which enables them to incorporate more players into the counter-attacks. Overall, Marco Silva has reshaped Fulham into a disciplined, tactically sharp unit that's holding its own in the Premier League. His ability to strike a balance between defensive structure and fluid attack and play has brought both stability and excitement to Fulham's approach this season. Silva's vision and tactical adjustments has given Fulham the confidence to compete at the top level already, and his future impact is something to watch closely as they continue to push forward this season. That is where I'm going to end today's podcast, but there are plenty of others you can go and listen to. For extra content, be sure to check out my website, that's inmrfootball.co.uk. On there you can find match reports, live blogs, club updates and so much more. And if that's not enough, be sure to follow INMR on X and Instagram for more daily football content. Thank you very much for listening, and I will see you in the next one.